You actually work here? I thought you failed at life." Those were my cousin Lisa's words as she pointed at my name badge like it was dirt on my shirt. Everyone at the engagement dinner burst out laughing except me. I just stood there, holding the wine bottle, wearing the uniform they thought proved their point. Before we go further, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe if you believe success is the best revenge. Because what's coming next? They never saw it coming. The restaurant was buzzing with champagne glasses and fake smiles. My brother, Tyler, had just proposed to his girlfriend Madison, and our whole family was invited to this fancy, high-end place downtown. But the moment they saw me walking out of the kitchen with trays in my hand, everything changed. My uncle whispered, loud enough for everyone to hear, "Guess college dropouts do end up serving the successful ones." I didn't respond. I didn't need to. Because right under their noses, I was running the very place they were dining in. Every wine they ordered, every plate they touched, it came from the business I built from scratch. Silently, over years they spent mocking me. But I stayed, quiet, until Madison looked closely at the wine bottle I brought to the table. Her eyes narrowed. She tilted the label toward the candlelight and gasped. "Wait," she said slowly. This bottle says Emma Hartley Reserve." She looked at me. "Emma, this is your name." Now the table went quiet. Tyler blinked like he couldn't process it. "That's just a coincidence, right?" he said, his voice suddenly unsure. Madison didn't answer. She reached into her purse and pulled out her phone. Her fingers tapped fast. Then her jaw dropped. She looked right at me. "Emma, you're the owner?" Everyone froze. Even Lisa, who had been smirking nonstop, suddenly looked like she'd swallowed a lemon. And I just smiled. Not the kind of smile you wear when you're being polite. The kind you wear when everything is about to change. Because this wasn't just a family dinner anymore. This was the beginning of my reveal. Tyler's fiancée dropped her phone on the table. It clattered loud enough to snap everyone out of their frozen stares. "I just Googled it," she said, her voice trembling slightly. "Emma Hartley owns Hartley Estates, Hartley Vineyards, and this restaurant. She's been in Forbes under 30. My mom nearly choked on her drink. That can't be true. Emma? Our Emma?" Her voice was sharp, almost offended, like success wasn't something I was allowed to have. Uncle Jeff leaned forward, trying to laugh it off. "Maybe it's some kind of joke, a PR stunt. Right, Emma?" I didn't answer right away. I walked to the head of the table, calm, collected, the way they never expected me to be. Then I pulled out the gold key from around my neck, the one I kept hidden for years, and placed it gently on the table. The engraved initials made it impossible to deny. Owner access. Vault number 3. Tyler's hands twitched. He looked pale. "You're joking. You were always the one who couldn't finish anything, the family screw-up." "Exactly," I said. "That's what made it so easy to build everything in silence." "No one ever looked close enough to notice," Lisa snapped. "Wait, are you saying you've been rich this whole time and just let us treat you like trash?" "No," I replied calmly. "I let you show me exactly who you were without the filter of money. You gave me honesty. Cruel, yes, but real." The air around the table turned thick. Every fake compliment they'd ever given me, every moment they'd looked down on me. It was burning now, right in their eyes. Then Madison whispered, something that made my mother flinch. "If she owns this place, and the vineyards, and her name's on the lease of our new condo, then technically, she owns the building we live in too." Tyler looked like someone had just smacked him across the face. "You own the building I live in?" I looked at him with a softness that hurt more than anger. "You once told me I'd never afford a doormat, remember? Now you walk across mine every day." The silence that followed was heavy. Shame hung over them like fog. But the night wasn't over. because the real reason I came to this dinner hadn't even been mentioned yet. And when they found out what I was about to do next, even Madison would wish she'd never opened her mouth. Tyler stood up so fast his chair screeched against the floor. His face was red now, not from embarrassment, but panic. Wait, are you trying to embarrass me in front of everyone? At my engagement dinner? I tilted my head. Tyler, I didn't come here to embarrass anyone. I came because I was invited. I brought wine. I served you dinner. I stayed quiet. Then I leaned in just slightly. But you turned it into a performance. My mom finally found her voice. Why would you hide something like this from your own family? We could have helped you. I laughed. Actually laughed. The audacity. You mean the way you helped me when I asked for a $2,000 loan to start the business and you said, Emma, don't waste your life on pipe dreams? Everyone looked away. No one met my eyes. Then I turned to Madison. She was still staring at me like I was a glitch in the Matrix. You're smart, I said. Smart enough to dig a little deeper. You found out what Tyler didn't bother asking. She looked torn. I just wanted to know why your name sounded familiar. I didn't know. You didn't do anything wrong, I cut in. But I did come here for a reason. Now everyone looked at me. I reached into my blazer pocket and pulled out a small envelope. Thick, cream-colored, with a gold seal. I slid it onto the table in front of Tyler. What's this? He asked, not touching it. A wedding gift, I said flatly. Go ahead, open it. His fingers trembled as he peeled back the seal. He scanned the papers inside, and I watched the color drain from his face. No. This can't be real, he muttered. You're buying the company I work at? I nodded slowly. Correction. I already bought it, last week. Your boss handed me the keys himself. He stood there like he might explode. Why would you do this? Because the same company that fired me 5 years ago now needed a buyout, and I was in the position to give it. His voice cracked. You mean I work for you now? And I haven't even decided if I'm keeping you on, I said calmly. But that's not what matters tonight. I turned back to the whole table. I let all of you believe I failed, because your opinion stopped mattering the moment I realized your approval was based on status, not love. For a long moment, no one spoke. The power dynamics had completely reversed, and they knew it. But then Madison said something no one expected. If Emma's running the company now, does that mean she's my boss too? The room turned to her. Tyler looked like he was going to be sick. Wait, I said, my eyes narrowing. What exactly do you do at the company? Her silence said everything. She wasn't just his fiancée, she was on payroll. And now, she worked for me too. Madison's lips parted, but no sound came out. Her eyes darted between me and Tyler, as if she was trying to calculate how bad this could get. I work in the marketing department, she finally said. Under corporate. I didn't know. Emma, I didn't know you were the CEO, I finished for her. No one did. That was the point. Tyler's voice rose. So what? Now you're going to fire my fiancé? Humiliate us both? Is that the big plan? I stared at him, calm as ever. No, I don't need revenge, Tyler. You're already doing that to yourself. He clenched his fists. You're unbelievable. You've been sitting on this empire, letting us all treat you like some bottom-tier loser. And now you're acting like you're the victim. I'm not a victim, I said coldly. I'm the one who kept receipts. Every insult, every time you told me I'd be nothing. Every door you slammed in my face. I turned all of it into something you could never take credit for. My dad, who had been silently sipping his drink this entire time, finally spoke. "I always told your mom you had fire," he muttered. "Guess I was right." But Mom wasn't moved. She looked at me like I was a stranger. "You kept this from your own mother." "You weren't a mother to me," I said, without blinking. "You were a scoreboard, only proud of your kids if they looked shiny enough to show off at parties." She gasped like I slapped her. But no one came to her defense. Lisa suddenly scoffed, trying to shift the energy. "Well, I don't care how much money you have. You still showed up tonight in a waitress uniform. You don't look like a CEO." I smiled. The trap had finally shut. "Oh, this uniform?" I looked down at it. "It's the same one all my employees wear. I wore it tonight because I wanted to remember who I was when you all thought I was worthless." Then I walked over to the kitchen doors and motioned. A man in a suit stepped out. My general manager. He handed me a navy blue blazer with a silver pin. Owner, Hartley Group. I slipped it on. Slowly. Deliberately. Now they really saw me. "Madison," whispered. "So wait, you were serving tonight?" "Every week," I said. "I pick one restaurant and go undercover. Keeps my team honest. Keeps me humble." The silence in the room turned into discomfort. Then fear. Because the truth had landed. I wasn't just in the room. I owned the room. And as I turned back toward the table, I dropped one final bomb. "Oh, and one more thing," I said casually. "This engagement dinner, it's not on Tyler's card, or Madison's, it's on mine." Then I looked directly at Tyler. "Congratulations on your engagement. I hope you enjoy your wedding. Just know," I leaned in, "your entire life is now funded by the sister you laughed at." He looked like he might pass out. But what he didn't know was that I hadn't even given him the worst news yet, because the next thing I was about to reveal would make him wish this was just about money. Tyler's jaw clenched. "You've said your piece, Emma. You made your little power play. Is that it? Are you done humiliating me now?" I stared at him, and for a brief moment, I almost pitied him. "No, Tyler, this isn't about humiliation. It's about truth." I reached into my bag and pulled out one last envelope, thinner than the first but heavier in weight. I slid it across the table. "You should read this. Carefully." Madison looked confused. Tyler opened it with trembling hands. His eyes darted across the page, then again, and again. His mouth fell open. His face turned gray. "No, this isn't true," he whispered. Madison snatched the paper from his hands. Her eyes scanned it, then widened in horror. "Tyler, this says you've been embezzling company funds?" The entire table went still. Uncle Jeff choked on his wine. Lisa gasped so hard her necklace snapped. My mother's hand flew to her mouth. "You used your company credit card to finance personal vacations, jewelry, even that ring you gave Madison." I looked her dead in the eyes. "You're wearing evidence, sweetheart." Madison pulled her hand back like the ring was burning. Her skin. "Emma, please," Tyler stammered. "We're family. You can't—" "I can, and I already did. The forensic audit is done. The board voted this morning. You're terminated. And a criminal investigation has been launched." He lunged forward like he wanted to scream, but there was nothing left to say. Everything was in motion, and he was powerless to stop it. "You built your life on lies, Tyler. I built mine on work." My voice didn't shake. My eyes didn't blink. Madison slowly stood up, pale and shaken. "I didn't know he did this. I swear I didn't." "I believe you," I said softly. "But believing you doesn't mean I'll protect you. HR will handle the rest." She looked at Tyler like she was seeing a ghost. Then she pulled off the engagement ring and set it quietly on the table. "I'm not going down with you," she whispered, before walking out the door. Tyler slumped back into his seat, destroyed. A man who had always lived off ego, now hollowed out by the truth. And the rest of the table? They said nothing, because what could they say? The girl they mocked now held every single one of their futures in her hands. I stood tall, calm, free. And as I turned to leave the restaurant I owned, the silence behind me was louder than any applause. That night, I didn't just walk out as a CEO. I walked out as a woman who had reclaimed her worth, and I never looked back.